Panic.
Just David will be fine. Please don't. Jesus, my father's name.
There we go. That'll do. That'll do. I was prepared for this. Great. Okay.
Okay.
Hello everyone. My microphone is very loud. There we go. Hello everyone, and welcome to another KFPL stream. Today, BaronVonFabulous and I are going to be streaming CalumSLZ versus Seb-112. This is another Archimedes Screech Bob-omb off, so we're very hyped for it.
There is indeed a lot of hype, almost too much hype to contain in one body currently. Is what I would say my levels are at.
We'll be doing that shortly. This is an interesting game because both of them are convinced that they are going to get 2-0'd.
Yeah, but they're both convinced that they're both convinced they're going to lose, which means I think that means it's going to be a very close game. But I'm also just kind of wondering whether they're just going to be so determined to be right rather than actually win the game, and that could be problematic.
It will definitely be interesting. So, obviously Seb's on my team and Callum is on BaronVonFabulous' team. So we've both got quite a bit of skin in this, I get.
Indeed.
So we've been involved in a lot of the testing discussions. I imagine you have.
I've been involved in bits and pieces. I think the problem with this type of game is that both players' decks are very much not the kind of decks that I play. So my use in the testing has been limited at best. Like the board scores on all of Seb's decks are below 60. The efficiency's low. There's no dinosaurs to speak of, which is very much my area of expertise.
Yes. Without the dinosaurs, I think it's definitely a problem for you.
Yeah. So when the highest board in a whole matchup between all 6 decks is 66, then my usefulness really wanes at that point.
Yeah, and I've been, wanting to support my boy, but the decks I actually know the most about are Callum's.
Yes, so you've played 2 of your decks.
So it's a problem for me. But at least the deck chat should be decent.
Yeah, I'm expecting you to just talk about everything. I'm just going to sit
God.
here and look pretty.
No,
so...
I can't do this. This isn't fair. Oh God, my scene. No. Okay. There we go. That is.
Who are we talking about first?
Hold on. Oop.
I'm holding on to the table. Is that sturdy enough to hold on to? Do I need like a door frame? What am I holding on to?
Your hat, maybe. Right. I was prepared for this. So, these are Callum's decks. 2 of them he borrowed from me. And then the other one is the deck that he's got a lot of experience with. So
it is in fact the deck that he qualified for the KFPL using at the time in the sub 75 survival event. It's no longer sub 70. No, it wasn't survival. It was the couples one, but it is no longer sub 75. It's been bumped up to a 76. And he's very annoyed about because it means you can no longer use it in sub 75 things. But yeah.
I mean, he's played these decks all over 100 times. The man's got he gets the reps in.
He is a Keyforge fanatic. Yeah, like Callum is very much a believer in practice makes perfect, and it is kind of like it's just kind of like a thing. I think he's very good at kind of like multitasking too. So he's often playing Keyforge while doing other things, something that I cannot do. And if I try and play Keyforge while doing something else, either I will stop playing Keyforge or I'll stop doing the other thing. I'll usually stop doing the other thing. But no, he's a machine of Keyforge, I must say.
Yeah, so he's got good experience of all of these. I'd say he's got the most competitive experience with the hammer, which is
he does.
That's his deck that he's brought. The other 2 he borrowed from me. Logan the Dubious is a really kind of unique mass mutation deck. You got 4 mutagenic serums and 9 mutants, so it's the deck where ideally you use everything every single turn.
Yeah, it's also only 13 creatures, 9 of which are mutants as well. So pretty much if you're playing a creature, it's probably a mutant, and you're probably going to be able to use it in the next one, a mutagenic serum.
Yeah, and with the Dav as well, it just becomes a very quick and very silly.
Yeah,
It's quite a fun one to play.
yeah, but I think that's the thing as well. When you've got like 9 artifacts, is the bigger thing. So it means that once you get those artifacts down and they stay on the board, you're then just cycling through your creatures so quickly at that point in your actions and everything that it has a speed of 11. But I think that's actually slightly disingenuous, and it probably like plays much faster than the speed states.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. The last deck is Kota Mars. Woo! Ulslang. So this is a deck which just goes off. Ideally, you get a good library access time traveler turn where you twin bolt a mission, the time traveler, it goes back in, you reshuffle, you keep drawing, and it just, if you get that, then the efficiency from the battle fleet and the Mars as well just makes it a very silly game.
Yeah, Slang's an interesting one because I'd say like one thing that I'd characterize about Callum is he tends to like playing decks where you can do like a lot of house cheating. I think is his play style. He likes to kind of like be able to like do various things to like reap outside of house or play cards outside of house. Slang doesn't really do that outside of like a wild wormhole. I think it's the only real thing where that's possible. So it's an interesting one in that sense. It does have the potential for the very spicy library access wild wormhole into Hysteria, which, oh boy, do I know that if you get Hysteria while you're doing a library access, it can be real fun. So yeah, that's definitely one. But also like stuff like Battlefleet, it can do really well with, and it can just generally, like you say, create just massive hands for you to use.
Yeah, just looking at Callum's comments in the chat, he couldn't find a good enough mass mutation deck that he liked. Well, fuck you then. You can stop using mine. Just kidding. But yeah, that's Callum's deck. Should we move on to Seb's?
Sure can.
Oh, he meant AOA. Okay, that's fine. Seb helpfully sent me a little guide to his decks, which I will show you all shortly. I'll take a screen cap of it and then put it on the stream. But yeah, do you wanna make a start?
Yeah, sure. So let's have a look. First things first at Princess T Hokura, which I think the first thing you notice with this deck is it has negative speed, which is somewhat characteristic for Seb. He's not a big speed freak. He's quite content to take things slow, to relax. Just like let the world pass him by slightly. But with this deck, it's more about slowing down your opponent through a lot of things. So you've got like double control the weaks, you've got Hysterias, you've got Mind Barbs, you've got Charette, Slash of Broken Dreams, you've got a Succubus, you've got Toxins. The whole of this house is essentially designed just to go, nope, not doing anything. I'm gonna take things back to your hand, I'm gonna make you discard them, gonna make you skip turns, I'm gonna bring it all back again to do it again. You've also got kind of like Sanctum. I think this is the thing with this deck is it's like split into a lot of like very clear specific things. So like Sanctum again got a bit of disruption with like the blinding light, the harder they come in the spirit's way through removal. But in this deck you've got kind of like again its ways of controlling Amber a lot of the time as well as disrupting. It's kind of the mix of the two houses. Because you've got the Numk with the Fair for a bit of ball control, raiding knights to capture the Ember, and Commander Remiel just to force them to use that removal because Commander Remiel can be such a dangerous creature, especially with kind of stuff like the toxins in this. And finally, the shadows. Oh boy, the shadows.
Yeah, there's a lot of spot damage there, lots of just steal on cards.
Yeah, I mean, 50%. I think yeah, 2/3 of the cards actually in some way take Ember from your opponent, whether it's bait and switch, Nerve Blast for the steal effects, whether it's Customs Office for making your opponent pay to play artifacts, whether it's Urchin to just straight up steal. Like, it's only the Silver Twos and the Poison Waves that don't in some way take Ember from your opponent. So the deck may look slow, but I think Seb's philosophy, as is often, is that why would I play cards to draw when I can just play cards that do things? And I think that's very clear in this deck.
And the custom office presents a quite unique challenge for Logan, which has 9 artifacts and wants to keep playing them. Like, once you've got those 4 mutagenic serums down, you definitely want to pop them liberally.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a big issue.
Yeah,
I've managed to find the guide that Seb's made for me. It's on the stream now, so yeah.
Yeah, we've mentioned this a few times in kind of our discussion. Is that Customs Office is a card that I think has been one of the most seen rares just in general in the KFPL. Like, every other person seems to have a Customs Office as a very popular card, and for very good reason. I've actually got the stream open, so I can't see the bevy of emojis that Seb is using.
So it's the Johnny Longfingers for Zexilly, the Fun Rock for Glottis, and Princess's Callum's screaming face, which we have as an emoji.
That's about right. Yeah, that all checks out.
Yeah. Right. Next deck.
So next step is Zexilly, Spawn of Usurus. It is an I, isn't it? I'm getting that right. And as the saying goes, number low, deck bad?
Indeed.
Question mark.
Indeed.
But I think this deck is indeed far from bad, because when you see double Johnny Longfingers and 9 mutants, oh boy, that's some stealing going to be going down.
And there's lots of ways to kill the mutants within the deck as well. So you've got the Gizzleheart's Wrath, so you can just hit all your own mutants with the Johnny Longfingers out, steal a load of amber. You've got the second Rad Pemi, the enhanced one. It's got a damage pip on it, so you play the unenhanced one and then play the second one to kill the first, triggering the Johnny Longfingers. Savage Clash, it just gets very silly.
Yeah, I think the one thing that might be a bit of a weakness, at least this time for Zexilly, is that the Cleansing Waves might have a limited use in this matchup. As we've said, there's not many creatures on either side that are going to be very big. So any kind of fights you're trying to do where you're trying to like leave a little bit of damage onto that Cleansing Wave to pick up, I think maybe aren't going to be happening as often as they would in other matchups here.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting deck because you're playing it just to get stuff down that you can kill. It's good fun.
Yeah, and I think as well, if we end up with Zexilly versus Logan, you know, there's cards like a Vault's Blessing, which have much more limited use than they might in other matchups because there's mutants on both sides. And with that Dav, there's likely to be a lot of mutants on Callum's side a lot of the time too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the final deck to look at then is Glottis A Il Pigro.
Yes, the Fun Rock.
The Fun Rock indeed. Of course, I'm not really of the opinion that the rock is fun, but you know, in my role as commentator, I accept all rocks, including the shards, to be fun.
Oh, controversial opinion there.
Yeah, I mean, Glottis is an interesting one. I think this one is likely to be the ban just because quite at least one of Callum's decks in the Hammer is very creature based, and the Quixelstone can really mess that up. It's also there's a general lack of artifact control. In fact, none of Callum's decks have artifact control, and when even as well with Logan is another deck that really wants to be playing creatures, benefit from that Dav, benefit from those mutagenic serums, and with Glottis and that Quixelstone on the board, it can't do that, which is a big problem.
Yeah, it's very dependent on the Quixelstone coming out early. I think in a few of Seb's early games that we covered, the Quixelstone didn't come out until really late, so didn't get the full benefit from that, but the threat of the Quixelstone into Callum's deck is very potent.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, we actually do have the bans through and can confirm that the threat was so potent that Callum did indeed ban Glottis and its Quixelstone. And also, Seb has banned the Hammer.
Yeah, so let's talk about the reasons for doing that. I guess, you know, one factor is that, you know, it is Callum's deck, and it's the one that he's most experienced with, and, you know, it's always nice to get rid of a comfort pick for someone, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think the thing with the hammer as well is that with a speed of 24, the hammer is like a very punchy deck in that sometimes the hammer will just get a draw that you can do nothing about. Like, it will win in 5 or 6 turns, it will play fog banks and stealth modes and stuff like that to stop you doing anything, and you'll just be like, this deck has just won the game, and I have played every card that I could have played, every out that I could have played, and none of it helped. And especially with Seb's decks being the slower decks, and I think maybe had an assumption that Callum would ban the Quixelstone, then he's kind of like, just, well, this is the fastest deck, this is going to be the deck that most likely to outpace me, I'm going to get rid of this and have a better chance with the other two. So why do you think Callum banned... I mean, I think I kind of like went over it a little bit. Why do you think Callum banned Glottis, Kate?
So, I was in the discussions about it, and yeah,
the inside track.
Yes. So, the reason is that it was a decision between banning Princess and banning Glottis. The choice with Glottis is that if the Quixelstone comes down in either matchup, which it's likely to do at some point because of the speed, it's almost an instant lose. It's the win condition for the entire matchup. Whereas Princess is slow enough that you might not draw into all of the powerful things, and Callum has a larger chance of outpacing it. So that was the reason for the ban. I think Zexili wasn't really considered, because Zexili, if it does the Zexili thing, it just wins. But there's a chance of it not doing that and the other decks being able to outpace it. So on the balance of choice, Glottis was the best option there.
No, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Right, I believe the game is up. I'd normally ask kind of who we think is going to win, but I think we all know who the other person thinks is going to win.
Yeah.
So we'll not bother with that, and we'll just head straight into the game.
Okay. I'll just find it.
The password is what you'd expect.
Okay, sure.
But yeah, in the game, we're going to have Ulslag being played by Callum first, and Zigzilli being played by Seb first. So, battle of Kota versus Mass Mutation, old versus new. Will it be youth or experience that wins the day? Let's find out.
Hold on, I'm having issues guessing the password.
It is
in
the
oh, there it
Discord
is.
chat
There
now.
it is. I didn't want to open it because I've got it on the stream. Right.
Didn't want to see all the salacious messages we've been sending to each other,
Yeah.
including, what's the ban, please?
Ban, please.
Yeah. In fact, I am going to quickly adjust my card size to large so I can see what's going on better. Mad, I know.
And I need to resize my whole screen.
Whoa.
Sorry guys, sorry.
But we are going to see a Sacro Thief coming down from Seb early on. Not really going to get any benefit from that capture icon, unfortunately. And Callum getting off to a fast start here.
Okay.
3 Mars of creatures straight off the bat, including a John Smith. Always happy to see that nice and early if it can stay a turn, which I'm sure Callum will be hoping it will. But oof, no, straight in with the Dark Wave. That's double enhanced as well with 2 Ember icons and a Reap with the Sacro Thief. Getting Seb off to a quick 3 Ember. And playing 2 Rad Pennies,
Yep.
but nothing to steal. Can't be thrilled about that.
But there's the Rad Penny player discuss where he popped the second with the first.
Yeah.
Or the first with the second, rather.
Callum getting another Mars turn in here.
Yeah,
And
that is
getting himself
nice
up to
Mars
2.
board.
That is a good Mars board, yeah. And with having already seen the Dark Wave go as well, he's got to be thinking, he's got to be hoping it stays around a little bit longer. We do see a Cleansing Wave number 1, which is going to get 3 Ember for Seb. Not the biggest Cleansing Wave you'll ever see. And then a Fang's Gizzleheart to purge that Grabber Jammer. And a Gizzleheart Zealot maybe fights the Zizix the Many. Could he be a bit scared of that? And he does indeed. Poor Zizix. Hardly knew ye. And a bring low just the Ember. And Seb onto 8 Ember at the end of his second turn. That is brutal. But Callum going for the Time Traveler. Draw 2 cards. Oh, plays the Library Access. Okay, this could be a big old turn.
Okay.
We're seeing... Plays a Scrambler Storm. Draw a card. No actions for Seb next turn. Positron Bolt. Gonna take out that Rad Penny and that Gilheart Zealot. Wild Wormhole to play the Hysteria. Oh,
this
excellent
is
to see we've already
huge
got
with
a
the Time Traveler
down. Yes, indeedy. And going to play the Time Traveler again. Draw 3 cards off of that because of the Library Access and the Time Traveler effect combined. Positron Bolt to kill the Time Traveler. Does he have the Help from Future Self? Because if he does, I think he's going to be very happy about that. If so, maybe looking to draw into it here.
No,
it doesn't, unfortunately. But it has a thick hand there. And Callum says, you can go to 8 on your turn 2. I'll do exactly the same. Thank you very much. And we're going to see Seb playing down some shadows, discarding a tempting offer, discarding a finishing blow, and playing that Miasma Bomb and the Sacro Thief. Callum is going to get the second key. Seb also getting a key.
Strange not to play the finishing blow just to get the Amber.
It's true, yeah. I suppose does want to return that Escatera, give Callum the chance to get more Ember by playing it again.
The finishing blow, though, wouldn't do anything. It would just give you the Amber.
Oh, finishing blow, that's very true, actually. Yeah, that is interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, Scrambler Storm.
Scrambler Storm, of course, yes.
We're professionals.
We are going to see Mars here. I think it's a shame that we didn't see the Battle Fleet from Callum. I think Callum probably disappointed not to see that, but he's going to archive that Dr. Escatera for later, put a Biomatrix backup onto the Vizima Think Drone.
And on check for key 2.
He is indeed, and then we see that Enhanced Legacy Witch of the Eye coming on down. Of course, is a human, so would be affected by Ixalic's Plague Master's Reap effect if Callum so chooses to use it. And discards the Resurgence, nothing in the discard he wants to bring back, and then plays the Commune to bring him up to 4 Ember. Of course, that Ember icon on the Commune, possibly the most pointless Ember icon you'll ever see.
It was unfortunate. Okay, both players keeping pace.
Indeed they are. Callum, I'm having a bit of a think about here. I've got to think this might be coming from him.
Yes.
I've not seen any dis barring that Hysteria thus far. We are going to see this indeed uses Guilty Hearts to destroy that Witch of the Eye. Hysteria to return everything to hand. Maybe he's drawn that Battle Fleet. That's the only reason I can think to be wanting to return is Mars to hand, or looking to draw the Battle Fleet, I would say. But he's going to get a big turn here. Plays 2 Pit Demons and a Terror. It's a dangerous ball to be facing down for Seb. And discards the Gateway to Dis. Plays the Arise. What is he going to Arise here? If it's Mars, I got to think he has the Battle Fleet.
Yeah, Mars would make the most sense here. But he goes for Logos, takes Time Traveler back.
So yeah, I've got to think then maybe doesn't have that Battle Fleet, but it's possibly just setting up for a nice Logos turn next turn, which you can definitely do. Escatera in the archive, Time Traveler in the hand. That's going to be a lot of draw. And I think, yeah, maybe just kind of sculpting his hand here for a very nice Mars turn after the Logos turn. We're going to see Shadows from Seb. Rad Penny, number 1. Best card in the game. Mutant Cut Purse. Love to see it. And Miasma Bomb to stop Callum forging this turn. Can play Dis here.
Yep, use both the Pit Demons, steal 2 Amber.
Exactly. Reaps with the Terror. Plays a Succubus as well. Gonna try and limit Seb's card draw if he can, unless he decides to use that Mutant Cut Purse, but he doesn't. Gonna go Untamed. Savage Clash. Now the Terror to survive. And then puts down a Niflate. And a Pismire going to make Callum's keys a little bit more expensive, but Callum does get the second key, going to go straight into Logos. No messing around. Not a second thought. And plays the Mother. Plays the Doctor. Of course, Callum is a Doctor as well as the Dr. Escatera. And does he have the Battle Fleet here? 5 cards left in the deck. We haven't seen it yet. Seb is going to go Sanctum. Plays the Ardent Hero. Discards a Cleansing Wave. Gotta be upset about that. You know, Cleansing Wave, really big card in this deck, can do a lot with it, but just no damage to heal at all. You're going to see Logos again, though. Venal Analyst to Reap. Could just be reaping out to try and get to try and get himself and plays to help yourself get the time traveler back. Plays the time traveler, draws 2 cards, and ends the turn there. Gets himself onto check on 8. Does Seb have a response? Does have the shadows, the Johnny Longfingers. Of course, can fight that mutant cutpurse into something to steal one, but also has the rad penny. And vandalize. Hits the arise with the vandalize. It rhymes, so you know it's true. And yeah, fights the mutant cutpurse into the mother, steals one, gets himself onto check with 7. Callum straight into dis, no messing around. Plays the shoeless to steal one.
Now, Callum can't fight the terror into the Ardent Hero to kill it and get rid of the taunt because it's power 5. So, got to be thinking about what best to do here.
He's going to play Fear, though. I've got to assume to return the Ardent Hero, but maybe Johnny Longfingers to stop that stealing being as easily done.
Potentially the Pismire, just to ensure that he's hit check. There's a lot of good options.
The only trouble with fighting the Pismire is it does actually steal one from Callum by doing that, but it would still leave him on check. The only oh no, just returns the Pismire.
Yeah, the Fear.
I suppose just wants to force that Shadow's turn, and yeah,
Shuffles
it's going to
takes Seb off check.
It does indeed, yeah. And this is a difficult situation for that. He's going to play Untamed, presumably going to play that Pismire again. Does, knocks Callum up to 8. Gloriana's Attendant. Got to think there's a way to kill it here to knock Callum off check.
Captures with the Dark Fairy.
Captures with the Dark Fairy, very nice. And Vault's Blessing gets a lot of Ember there. I think that's the difficulty with this deck, isn't it? Really, is that you don't want to kill the mutants because they steal with Johnny Longfingers, but you don't want to let the mutants live because of that exact reason of that big old Vault's Blessing being able to come on down.
And now Seb has a lot of good options for stealing on his next turn. Depends how high Callum goes. The Niffle-Ape being killed also puts the Pismire back under taunt. Good positioning there.
I'm just going for a big 4 Reaps here with the Logos. And Twin Bottom Mission. What is he going to hit with this? Ardent Hero, and just doesn't want to hit any mutants. Doesn't want to make it easier to kill them. Plays a Pit Demon down with the Wild Wormhole. 13 Ember. This is a large amount of Ember. Can Seb do anything about this?
So this is 6 Ember that's got to be swung here.
Does, yeah. We've lost the Gizzleheart's Wrath. We've lost the Savage Clash. Bring Low, we've seen very early on. Cleansing Waves, get Seb some extra Ember. There's a Lieutenant Gorvenal. Not quite enough creatures to fight, though, I don't think, to make that the difference maker.
Yeah, the Gizzleheart's Wrath has also gone, I think.
It has indeed, yeah.
And that would be the answer here.
A fight with the Ardent Hero. Fighting the Shaffles, plays the Grey Rider.
Okay, so can Grey Rider hear a Gloriana's Attendant into something and steal one with the Johnny Longfingers? It's still not enough.
It's still not enough, no. But it is getting closer and closer with that Gorvenal. Fangs of Gizzleheart going to purge either the Mother, the Terror, or the Shaffles.
Oh, kills a Rad Penny with the bonus icon. Steals another one.
Oh, it's close. It's so damn close. Purge the Pit Demon. And that's win for Callum. Game 1 goes to Screech Bomb.
Yeah.
Tight game though.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Just the quality of the Logos turns from Callum really speeding him up there, giving him that efficiency that he needed to complete the full game. Yeah,
definitely. And I think we were not worried about. I was always looking for that big Battlefleet milestone, just never really came up. Just the Logos and the disc, just enough to kind of keep building up that Ember from Callum there. Really impressive game for both parties. As we move into the second.
So this will be Logan versus... I'm not sure if Seb will keep or switch.
I don't know. Yeah, I know Callum, his preference is usually a switcher. Obviously, he has to switch in this case. but we shall see. And I think we kind of said in our Jack chat, and I think it's true that if so switched, probably like he has the better matchup against this deck with the customs office, so we may see a switch, and in fact we do, yes.
Yep, so
Will
Seb
it
playing
be enough?
Princess T Hokura with the customs
Indeed.
office and all of the steel pips. Numquid the fair is going to be really useful here as well, with the control the weeks too. Got Kota, no, not Kota off. Unfortunately, the control the weeks don't do a lot against Logan, but
No, with those mutagenic serums, definitely not. But you're going to see a mutagenic serum straight off the bat from Callum. And what is Seb going to play? Kept his hands, it must be pretty decent. Lash of Broken Dreams comes straight down. Fear doesn't do anything, just getting out of the hand. And Control the Weak into logos. Now,
under
does
the
Callum
assumption.
have any logos? Oh, he has the Adapter with 2 draw icons. Gotta be happy about that. Control the Weak there. And oh, a second mutagenic serum as well. Master the Theory too. Oof. As Control the Weeks go, not the best one you'll ever see. And I think Callum very happy to see that out of play early on with very minimal impact. But Poison Wave going to do some damage, and a second Poison Wave going to destroy that Adaptoid. And we do see an Urchin for the steal. But getting 2 mutagenic serums out without the customs office in play, I think Callum got to be happy about that. He's going to put the Soul Keeper on the Urchin just to get it out of hand. Plays a Mind Fire. Discard the Gorm of Om as well. Pretty good card to get rid of there, actually. And
Yeah,
Dance of
very
Doom.
good. Now it opens up Callum to play the Dark Amber Vault without fear of having it removed.
Indeed it does, yeah. And I think that's the thing with Seb's deck, is that once these cards are gone, the deck is so slow that they're probably gone for a long, long time, too. And we see the Master Plan coming out here. The Mug just for the Ember. The second Mug just for the Ember. Seb is going to get first blood with the first key, though.
And goes back into this.
Yeah, and we see a Toxin. Control the Weak. I've got to think choose the Shadows here. Wants to choose the house that's just been chosen. Has Callum redrawn into any shadows? He does have the Subtle Lotto. Gets rid of Commander Remiel. Not the best card to see. We just use a Vandalize. What does he hit off the Vandalize?
Massive.
This could be huge. Got to be hoping for Customs Office here if you Callum.
Yep, Customs Office, TMTP.
Mm-hmm. We've already seen both Control the Weeks. Spirit's Way. Nice ones to get rid of though. Probably not the exact thing he's looking for, but not too shabby. And I think Callum, they're going to be very happy to see both of those Control the Weeks gone now as well. We are going to see the bait and switch to steal 1. And steal 2, in fact. I do apologise.
And then Nerve Blast and Relentless Whispers to put Seb in check for a second key.
Indeed it is, yeah. I think this is the thing that we were talking about in the deck chat as well. Just so much steal and so many ways of taking ever off your opponent in Seb's deck. It's just relentless as he gets a second key in short order.
And Callum set himself up for a good not Logos turn there. 2 mutagenic serums out. Oh, Numquid.
Yeah, I'm going to see, the Bookton and the Munchling destroyed there as Seb's going to put down some Sanctum Labs. Always happy to see some Sanctum Labs.
That's a bit of chonk right there.
Indeed it is. You can see Dis from Callum. You can use the Dominator Bauble.
Playing the first one of those out. Oh no, he's just using it.
He is indeed. Gleeful Mayhem, okay. So I've got to think he probably hits the Raiding Knight there. Oh, because a damage icon, so can destroy the Raiding Knight. Plays the Bone Saw. Fights into imagine a Commander Remiel.
No, Reaps and then Infernuses. So lots of fun options here. And
Okay, so both Control the Weeks.
Very
in character for Callum. And we only see shadows. There's the customs office. Better late than never, I think is the
I
term
think
here.
it's still a good time for it because Seb's well ahead at this point, and this
He
is
is,
going
yeah.
to hugely slow Callum down.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing you hear is you want it before the Dark Ember Vault. That's the really big one. Oh, Hitch, there's too much to protect, though.
Big
with
random
that.
discard.
Huge random discard, yeah. And it's going to use the tempting offer to return the Commander Remy, or giving Seb a bit of Ember here, but getting Callum on to check, clearing that board away from Seb a bit. Could be seeing a bit of a fight back here. And Seb taking his time a bit here, having a bit of time to think. You know, frenetic pace up to this point, but he's going to play Sanctum again. Reaps with Numquid the Fair. Plays the harder they come to get rid of that Bonesaw, get the Ember back off of it. Plays a Commander Remiel and another Commander Remiel. And Blinding Light, I imagine the two shadows here, which
Yes.
he does. Can't be using those Mutagenic Serums now, but is going to allow Callum to get his first key of the game.
So, Callum's in a position now where he can't play any more artifacts or it will put Seb on check.
Yep, unless he has a way of taking off an Ember before he does that. He also needs to have Ember himself to play the artifacts too, which he currently doesn't.
Oh no, he's got 4 artifacts in hand and he can't play any of them.
Brutal. That is brutal.
The joys of having 9 artifacts in your deck.
So we're going to see Logos discards a Mutagenic Serum, discards another Mutagenic Serum, plays the Quicksilver the Adventurer, and sacrifices a Mutagenic Serum just to remove those stuns. And this is looking real dicey here for Callum. I don't know if he has a particularly good way back from this. Not the most Ember control in this deck either, really.
No, a lot of the Amber control comes from the Adaptoid, and once you know that, it's kind of easy to control.
Yeah, when your opponent can fairly comfortably play a Charette and not take any Ember from it, you know that it's going pretty well for them. And discards Hysteria,
Yep,
I think, very sensibly. Especially with that Infernus on the board. I think really Callum needs to have the Infernus here to stay in the game. Which he's going to use the Quicksilver, maybe looking to draw it. Draws a card. What is it? There is the Infernus.
There
okay.
it goes.
Still in the game, but I've got to think that this is going much better for Seb than it is for Callum right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, purges the Team TP and the Blinding Light. Very good ones to get rid of. It's the difficult here of, though, you've got so many artifacts in the deck and the inability to play most of them at this point is just going to really hamper Callum's progress. And it does just go for the place the Dark Ember Vault, pays that 1, discards the Dominator Baubles, and reaps the Mutant Cutpurse, reaps with the Subtle Otto. Yeah, I got to think here, just looking to get those draws from the Dark Ember Vault, thinking it's just worth paying the price. But Seb going to reap with the Charette, reap with the Toxin. I don't think. And Gateway Dish just to destroy everything. Plays the Arise. Oh no.
Yeah, this is always going to be a really difficult matchup for Callum.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. But I suppose he knows he's got this out of the way, and he knows that I think 9 times out of 10 probably Princess is winning this matchup, whereas the reverse fixture is probably going to be a lot more competitive. As we see, yeah, I think Callum just playing it out here, and yep, Seb getting the win there. Just a fast start from Seb. Got so much shadows so early on, 2 keys very quickly without Callum being able to respond too easily. And yeah, that Dark Ember Vault coming as late as it did just really hampered Callum. Just meant he couldn't get his feet under him. As we do move on to the 3rd game in quick order. These guys aren't hanging about.
Well, they are both very quick players.
Yeah. Seb's decks are slow, but he is not, whereas Callum's decks are fast, and so is he.
So, game 3 will be Logan's Dubious versus Vexilly Spawn of Usurus. The MM on MM. It'll be interesting to see how that matchup plays out.
Indeed, the match.
Yep, so
that's my rage of mms.
I feel like this is a matchup which may favour Logan. But I feel like this is a matchup which may favour
I think so. Yeah, I would agree with that. You know, I think, as I say, like Princess was definitely the kind of silver bullet to Logan. This match, I think, should be a lot more competitive. Uh, which you can see, it also kind of it's big dependent on kind of how early that Dav comes out. You know, it came out
Yes.
very late in this game. If it comes out earlier, we might have a bit more competitive. But that's not to count. That's not to count out Seb's deck either, though, which is Auxiliary. I did remember. We are waiting for Seb to join the game. And there we go. Deck selected, enhancements not verified.
Sounds like a scam to me.
Does indeed. Callum won the flip in his first player.
This is very good for Callum. You always want the free mulligan on Logan.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Just looking for that Dark Ember Vault. We are going to see the instant mulligan. Clearly not seeing it.
Yes.
Has he seen it on the mulligan? Let's find out.
No.
Goes Logos, plays a Mutagenic Serum. Same start as last time. Hopefully, for me, with a different conclusion. Yeah, Auxiliary, I think not a great matchup here, just because, you know, a lot of the things that you're looking to play, like Cleansing Waves, difficult. Neither
Yes.
deck has a lot of creatures. You know, you've got Volt's Blessing, difficult. Both decks have a lot of mutants. You know, there's just things that are kind of like aren't as easy to do as they are normally. And an interesting turn there, just standardized testing and Quicksilver the Adventurer. Then we do have the finishing blow to destroy the Quicksilver, and then a tempting offer just for the Ember. Vandalize. What are we going to see off the Vandalize? Bring low. Very nice to get rid of. I'm having a think here. Making some decisions. Plays best card in the game. Got best card in the game on both sides. Mugs Johnny Longfingers and mugs him again to destroy him.
Yeah, this is great. So Logan has so much removal that you can just get rid of those Johnny Longfingers very quickly. Seb's got a Resurgence on his side, so he can bring them back, but it's when he pulls that, and Auxiliary is not a quick deck.
Yep. Ardent Hero, very good card in this matchup though, because can't be harmed by mutants, and when 2/3 of Callum's creatures are mutants, means that Ardent Hero's probably be sticking around for quite a while.
Yeah, that is true, but he does have 3 tempting offers.
He does indeed, and makes Mutant Cutpurse fight Ardent Hero. I think may have. Oh no, goes to the Master of the Theory. I was going to say maybe he had forgotten Ardent Hero's ability, but clearly not. Just wanting to do some archiving, which he does. And there we go. He's going to play another Mutagenic Serum. And he's archived 3 cards. Gotta wonder what they are. Maybe still just hunting for that Dark Ember Vault. And we're going to see Sanctum coming out from Seb. Ardent Hero to Reap. Lieutenant Gorvenal to Reap. And Equalize. No Ember to Redistribute. Communism has failed here.
And just bursting up to check there. Trying to outpace Callum.
There's the Dark Ember Vault. Historic Hog. Straight in. Draws a card, Dark Ember Vault. Bonesaw. Can't come in ready, but let's say Dominated Bauble to capture one. Plays another Dominated Bauble to capture another one and put a damage down onto the Ardent Hero. That's a nice turn there for Callum. Knocks Seb off check, gets the Dark Ember Vault down. Gotta be very happy with that outcome. And Seb choosing Sanctum. Gonna Reap with the Ardent Hero. Reap with the Lieutenant Gorvenal. And Gizelhart's Wrath to destroy the Histricog and the Mutant Cutpurse. I think Callum not going to be too disappointed with that Gizelhart's Wrath. Not hitting too many of his creatures, and not importantly getting that big steal from the Johnny Longfingers that we know can happen. He's going to play a Shadow's turn. Finishing blow to take out that Ardent Hero. And also steal one. Getting himself up to a cheeky check on 7. And attempting offer to return to Lieutenant Gorvenal. And then discards attempting offer. I don't know why you didn't just play it for the Ember there. Gotta be quite surprised about that one.
Yes, that's a strange decision, but.
But we think we've seen both players kind of like sometimes you just kind of like forget. We use the commune to get up to 4 Ember. Very good time to get commune as well. But there's another mutagenic serum coming out. Classic Logan. Adaptoid going to draw three cards, in fact,
Yes.
because of that Dark Ember Vault.
And the Adaptoid is the big powerhouse of this deck.
It very much is.
Seb really not in a position to take it out at this point, so it could cause issues.
It most certainly could, and we see 1 damage going to Gloria's Attendant, just reducing the number of mutants on Seb's board, reducing the amount of use he can get out of that second Johnny Longfingers when it comes down. And we are seeing here just this Logos turn just go off as cards after card after card is being drawn. Fluke put some damage on by the Doc Bookton.
And whatever house Callum picks on his next turn, he will be able to use all of those Logos mutants.
They are indeed all the mutants in that Logos, and then place the Infernus as well.
Probably to get rid of the Johnny Longfingers and bring low, I would say.
I think those would be the two that I'd go with, definitely, yeah. Or maybe gives them much ramp to get rid of. Yeah, I can see that too, yeah, with so many mutants. You've got to think, doesn't want to see that coming back around.
Now, Seb does have Savage Clash. This would be a great time to have it.
This would be an excellent time to see a Savage Clash. Will we see it? He's going to reap with the Fluke first. Lost in the Woods, so maybe got to think he probably doesn't have the Savage Clash unless
the Bonesaw and the Infomorph, probably.
Yeah, I can have to see the Bonesaw, and yeah, I'd say those would be two sensible ones. Maybe wants to get rid of the Adaptoid though. I could possibly see that.
You don't want to reshuffle it when he's only got 6 in his draw pile.
Very true, very fair. And discards a Dark Fairy in the Pismire.
So, not wanting to give Callum any targets to steal from with that Adaptoid.
With the Adaptoid, very sensible play. Yeah. And he's going to go disc with those 2 Dominated Baubles.
Yes,
oh, hit
the choice between...
wave. And that's the Cleansing Wave with a damage icon on too. Plays the Infernus, going to knock Seb off check, presumably. Typically hit the Bring Low, the finishing blow, which we do see. It rhymes, so you know it's true.
And now Callum has a choice between using the 2 Dominator Baubles or using a Mutagenic Serum. Both are options.
Both are options. I've got to think, I think maybe it's Mutagenic Serum, just reap for a bunch. I mean, there's not mass Amber control apart from that Bring Low in Seb's deck, so plays the Subtle Lotto, gets to draw a card as well.
Oh, it takes out the Rad Penny.
And that's the Rad Penny with a damage icon as well, which is even more useful than a normal Rad Penny.
Killing it.
It does indeed. Plays the Soul Keeper on the Adaptoid, reaps with the Munchling. And this is looking a very strong position for my boy, the good doctor, Callum. Seb down to 4 cards in hand, and probably not feeling great right now.
I mean, this is a great time for Savage Clash.
This would be, yeah, Savage Clash would be great, but I mean, you destroy a lot of creatures. Obviously, I think you probably leave, say, a Doc Bookton alive. I would assume, preferably the one that has the 2 damage pips on, just so it's not being reshuffled as early. But we obviously Sanctum instead, so maybe doesn't have that Savage Clash. 15 cards still in the deck for Seb. Every chance he's just not drawn into what he needs. He's going to play the Grey Rider, White Lieutenant Gorvenal into something.
Probably Subtle Lotto.
I've got to think so, yeah. Wants to get that capture. In fact, it goes for an Infernus. I suppose not too much danger from that. Obviously, Callum just reshuffled, so unlikely to be redrawing that Infernus anytime soon. But, yeah, Callum's second key, 4 Ember left in the pool, Mutagenic Serum to reap with 5 creatures, whatever house he chooses. I think he's quite happy with the position he's in here. He's going to go Shadows, though. Plays a Subtle Lotto, draws a card, discards a Rad Penny again.
Brutal.
Mugs the Lieutenant Gorvenal, which is going to kill it. Mugs the Grey Rider instead. Reaps with the Subtle Lotto, and I've got to cracks Mutagenic Serum here.
Just gonna go mental with this.
Interesting. I maybe would have used the Bot Bookton first, just in case. Oh, but I suppose then place the Tempting Offer first, just to get an effect. I suppose maybe worried about say reaping a Bot Bookton, hitting say a Dancing Doom, and therefore not being able to do the fight. So actually a very intelligent play from there
Oh,
from Callum, I
finishing
would say.
blow has to hit his own
Finishing blow.
Adaptoid.
It does, but he gets that steal. I mean, and I've got to think, getting to 14 Ember, bring low is purged. I don't think Seb has a response to this. And you do see Untamed here, maybe just a Petulant Savage Clash. Goes for a Growth Surge. There's the Petulant Savage Clash, but I think that is all she wrote as CalumSLZ takes the third game and the match. Very well played from both players. I think just that early Dark Ember Volt, not much way of coming back from it, really.
Yeah, very difficult. With the random discards from the Suffolk Lotto hitting those key cards, it was very difficult for Seb to be able to do anything.
It was indeed. So Seb, the one proven right here. Well, no, neither player proven right. Both thought that it would be 2-0. It was in fact 2-1. So both are wrong and are fools. We can both go back and point and laugh at them.
Indeed. But a brilliant set of games from both players.
But definitely, yeah. And only 35 minutes, so you guys can all carry on the rest of your afternoons now.
Yeah, that was quick. God damn.
Yeah. Both players are fan of the Speed Forge, the Quick Forge. And yeah.
Shall we see if they would like to do post-game chat?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I know they've been chatting while playing these games, so...
Have they? Okay.
Yeah.
Some trash talk from the two players. Although I imagine if it's Callum, there's been a lot of kind of like random noises of general displeasure.
Yes.
Throughout. And then with Seb occasionally baiting him because it's what we do. We're nice people in the UK Keyforge scene.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of the group, let's have a look at the group. I'll just
Very good shout. Yeah, how's this
wiggle around with my scenes.
The standings? I think this puts Callum onto 3-1 here, which is pretty strong. Only Mentol in the group, who is on 4-0, and that is Callum's 1. So doing pretty well there with that result.
Yep, here we go. Here's the group. So let's put Seb on 3-2, Callum on 3-1. Seb gets the final week bye, so he's got one more game to play.
He does indeed. I believe that's to Shreds, you say? Oh, no, it's not to Shreds. No, I'm getting this the wrong way around. I think it's not to Shreds. I think he's already...
Callum still needs to play Shreds.
Yeah, Callum did. Callum needs to play who needs to...
Play Tuck and Shreds.
Callum needs to play Tuck and Shreds. Seb, I don't think has played Mentol yet. Is that who it is? Yes, it is Mentol. Seb has Mentol next, who is, of course, the group leader, currently on 4-0.
Right, Callum and Seb are ready for a call, so I'll just call that
Perfection.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
I should plug in my microphone.
Can I just say, I told you so?
Yeah, right.
I was right.
No, you weren't, because you didn't go 2-0. So both of you
Neither
were
of us
wrong.
were right. We were both wrong. And Lark was like, that probably means it's going to be close and be 2-1. So he probably was right.
It often happens that I am right.
No, I can tell you that that's not true, but you were right on this occasion.
But no, good game by both, and fast as well. 35 minutes, all said and done. No hanging about for you two.
I have uploaded and edited a lot of our videos, and thus I'm happy to do a short processing time. to spare my poor laptop. But no, I just got like lucky enough with Allslang and Logan lining up very nicely in the auxiliary games.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Allslang, Logan and Zexilly are decks that if they just line up, they do win.
Mm.
Yeah, and I was super edgy for most of that final game because I was like, if there's a Savage Clash coming, all of this potential progress goes away. I just need like one turn with the mutants, and I got 2, so it was good. And then yeah, I wild wormholed into a stereo in the middle of library access shenanigans. So
Yeah, that
that'll
was
help.
fantastic.
That'll help. It's not the first time it's
I've
happened.
heard
but
that helps.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really does. Like, it's hard to.
I'm
hard
a
to
big
deny
fan.
That helps a lot.
I'm a big fan of the Out of House Hysteria in a library access turn, as you well know. Cough, 26 cards, cough, cough.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, you did it deliberately, right? 'Cause you have phase shift. I have to wormhole into it, and it could easily have wormholed into a gateway or a Shatterstorm, so it's always a gamble.
That would have been funny, though.
I've done it, believe me. I've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Princess game went about as I expected it to. Poorly.
Yeah, we were saying that as soon as that customs office came down, it was going to be difficult for you, especially if you hadn't already got the dab down, which you hadn't.
Yeah, I tried to mulligan for artifacts, and I got a couple down, but then I didn't get any mutants to stick because of the creature removal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact there was 2 mutagenic serums on the board for about 6 turns, because I didn't have a single mutant remaining at the end of the turn.
So question to both of you then. What made you choose the bans that you chose then? Because I think, Seb, you were the first person to ban the hammer, I believe, out of any competitor thus far.
No one's banned it yet.
I have. It just really stops Sixily working. It's got a lot of cards in it that just makes Sixily not work. Like, the creatures are all quite small, so it makes trading quite hard. It's obviously got the Fog Bank, which stops me fighting 2 Fog Banks, right?
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. And the Stealth Mode that stops all my good actions. So it just becomes a much harder game. And the other 2 could probably lose sometimes.
They did in some of the practices, for sure.
Yeah, and same question to you, Callum. What made you decide to ban Glottis? Yes, I got there in the end.
Well, I did a bunch of... I'm pretty sure it was Glottis or Princess, because both have, like, the massive creature control, either in the form of having 24 creature control or having the stone. And I discovered that the stone is actually much worse for all 3 decks. Like, I played a match when I was on, like, 2 keys and 4 ember, and the person playing Glottis was on no keys and 3 ember, and I lost because they played the stone and just entirely shut down anything I was trying to do. So like, it was kind of like, unless you got it in the absolute very late in the game, became unwinnable. So it just got banned.
Very, very sensible. So, kind of a question to both of you. How have you been finding the KFPL thus far? Obviously, both new players to KFPL and both been doing pretty well in your debut season. Now both of you on 3 wins, so got to be pretty happy with that record. What are your thoughts on it?
It's been pretty intense. Like, I knew that it would be hard, but it's been hard.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it though.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm enjoying the like behind the scenes stuff more, like the sort of prep and the training. Partly because like we're all getting in on it between us, me, Seb, and Tuck in this group, and George in Group D. So we're just getting a lot of reps in with games and like chatting about the decks and stuff, and that's always really interesting. It's like working out how something fares, and then like doing analysis on the deck to be like, how does this deck beat that deck, and what do I need to do? And that's been really interesting. Much more than the actual pressure of like playing the games, which has been hard and stressful. Which is why I'm talking really quickly, full of adrenaline. But no, it's been really fun. I have avenged my dear teammate Tuck.
You have indeed, yeah. I think that's actually an interesting question. Is that obviously you guys do train together, you kind of play each other a lot. How does that has that made this different to other matchups you've had against, say, like Mental or Amataka or Threads, who are people you kind of not played before? You know, is it coming to your thinking of like knowing quite well how each other play? You know, obviously we play each other every Wednesday pretty much, and quite a few Sundays now too.
Seb?
Yeah, it is different because obviously we do tend to have some knowledge of the decks, or at the very least how the other person plays. But at the same time, it makes the practicing harder because, like Callum said, we've been practicing
Yeah,
together.
I was gonna say, I'd like do it with a degree of secrecy.
I don't think this time was as bad for it as me and Tuck was.
No,
I think it was
not-
worse this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just.
It probably would've-
I feel like, you know, before it was like the first week, right? But now everyone's kind of got into a groove and everyone's regularly practicing, and there's I felt like it was more sneaky this week. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's a bit weird. Where it was like I've normally been practices on Tuesday night, and it was like either playing games or watching games. It was like, oh, you playing in KFPL practice tonight? And Seb was like, well, me and George are playing your decks. I was like, oh, what do I do with my evening now? I need a different plan.
Yeah, I said in the deck chat that I would have helped with practice, but your decks are baffling to me. I just looked at him and was like, why would you play these decks?
There's no creatures.
I was so amused with the fact that there was the highest board power 66
Yeah.
across 6 decks.
Yeah, I don't get out of bed for anything below 75, so this was...
I don't know what you mean, like, in the last game, I had a big board full of massive creatures, and I just kept using them all. Like, I know, it's exactly your thing, right? It's exactly the same.
I'm sure a lot of people have told you that 6 is massive before, Callum, sure.
Wow. We're descending to this level live on the internet.
I don't know what you mean. There's lots of creatures that are bigger than 6 power. You know, there's Deosilus, there's Galeotops, there's Pterodactyl. I'm just saying that 6 isn't that big a creature. I don't know what you're referring to.
And alas, I didn't get to make Zizix real big either.
Oh, my boy.
Sad time.
Yeah, I mean, Ziggs is good, and I just don't fancy letting that happen. There's a general rule.
Fair enough. But yeah, it was a bit different. Me and Seb were chatting through the game, which I haven't done with any of the other opponents so far.
Yeah, that is interesting. I don't think we've seen much chat between competitors at all throughout. So what was the chat like? You know, was it trash talk, or was it a very much more kind of measured, just normal game chat?
It was just kind of normal game chat, right? It was like, well, if this happens, you might be okay. It's like, well, this isn't gonna happen, but this other thing is gonna happen. Like, I just kept speculating whether I was about to be Savage Slash. But no, it's nice. It was fun. And I will play Seb later in a normal Keyforge game that's less stressful.
I think for that one we shouldn't talk.
No.
That's on the ground.
Stone cold silence.
So a question for Seb then: How much was Callum freaking out? Because he's making it seem like he was very stoic, but I imagine there was a lot of "Oh God, oh no, why is this happening?" Oh.
There was quite a few points where it was like, okay, now I'm not generating enough amber. I'm not generating enough amber. I was like, I'm not either.
Yeah, I think like Logan versus Exili, it felt like both of those decks could generate lots more ember a lot faster than they did.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
It's kind of that match would have been more interesting than it was. So there are a lot of things that change how Zixley plays in that matchup. Like,
yeah, and you sort of didn't find the Johnny Longfingers, and I discarded Rad Penny twice, right? I think.
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Which I kind of feel bad about. I'm not a fan of like random discard effects, but
Fine.
conceded some of my principles in borrowing this deck because it does do a lot of things I find very fun.
Yeah, you got some good hits off the run of this guy. You got rid of the Gorm as well, didn't you?
I did get rid of the Gorm.
Yeah, that was brutal. That really unlocked the game for you.
Yeah. Sometimes you can win games by not letting your opponent play Keyforge properly. And I have to do it occasionally. As deep unprincipled as it is. Right, like, we should probably wrap this up because you're recording another game in about 10 minutes.
I am indeed. Yeah, that's very true.
Not to take over the stream and tell you what to do, but
You love telling me what to do. Don't pretend.
Uh,
Don't pretend you don't.
like my main role. I don't.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan because we're also playing a event at 8. So
Yeah, Callum is the mother of the team who nags me to do things. I am the absent father,
was
and
like-
Tuck is the stepchild caught in the middle of everything, going, "Why do you fight all the time?"
It's a weird metaphor.
It's okay. We're staying together until Tuck gets to university. Then we'll have a divorce. It's fine.
Okay, as long as we get divorced later.
okay, I'd like to thank you both for chatting with us afterwards, for
No problem.
letting
I'm
us
sorry
stream
I-
your games.
I'm sorry I
and-
talked all the time and Seb didn't say anything, so I'm still like.
Yeah, it was a really good match, and we're glad to have streamed it.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thanks very much, guys. And we'll now go and do another game in 10 minutes because there's never enough Keyforge.
Woo! Okay, great. I will end the stream here then. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you again next time, whenever that is.
Thanks very much. Bye bye.
Bye.